Welcome guys, thank you for watching this video, but before we proceed, do not forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, share it to all of your friends, and also check out the description for further information guys. And now, let's get into the video.
Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and in today's video we will work on the Eren Yeager tower. So a tower you guys have been waiting for, and many of you have been suggesting me a tower which sends some counter units or some counter minions, let's say, from here. So from where our base or our building is to, yeah, the spawning point of the actual minions, okay? And on the way to that spawning point, it attacks all of these minions, you know? So that's basically what our Eren Yeager tower is going to do. But of course, not only that attack, he will of course, yeah. Wait, I forgot the word. Yeah, so he will turn himself into a Titan as well, and he will start attacking the minions or the units down here as well. So it depends on where you place him. And yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so that are the ideas about this tower I had, and let's try to realize them. All right. So of course we start off by just cloning one of these. So let me wait, not this one. Yeah. So as you can see, there is a Nami tower. And I have created this tower some while ago, and the video for that tower is coming soon, guys. So stay tuned. It is probably going to come in 2 weeks or so. So I have already recorded it and uploaded it. It just needs to be unlocked, let's say, or published via YouTube. And yeah. Okay, so let me clone the Itachi tower. Come on. Yeah. Let's call this one Eren Yeager. And let's put him inside of here. Alright. Well, so when I compare Eren Yeager's hair to Itachi's hair, then I would probably say that they are pretty similar to each other. So of course, Eren had changed his hair several times now in the last season. So he had that long hair when he also had those bandages wrapped on his head. And then after that, he has tied his hair. So he had several hairstyles, and I'm of course talking about the long hairstyle now he had. So let's just keep the hair at this point. Let's change his outfit, and let's create those bandages around his head, and then let's work on his Titan transformation. So his Titan form. And for those purposes, we will need to create his hair for the Titan, and his mouth or his face. Okay, so these are the only things we will create for him now, and then we are just going to script all of these things. You know, so it I don't know. It maybe will concept or will take up 4 episodes or something like that. So this one is going to be a pretty complicated or a pretty interesting tower, which just requires a lot of things to be made, you know, in order to prepare everything. All right, so let me get some shirts and pants IDs. I'm gonna pause the video, and I'll be back when I have found something. All right, so I have now found some stuff, some pretty interesting stuff right here, and I'm gonna import them now. Alright, so you just copy the ID, so these numbers, from the link above on your web page, of course. So you just copy, them, and then you just paste them inside of here. So you go to pants, and then pants template, and then just paste the ID right here. Okay. Alright, so now the only thing which is missing are those bandages wrapped around the head. And we are going to create them now. Alright, so how is this going to work out? As always, if you want to create something on your head, then click on the head, then right click, export selection, and then save it to somewhere. And we are going to create those bandages in Blender. And yeah, so you will be needing Blender for those purposes. And yes, so you should probably know about Blender. I have used that software, that program, in several of my episodes now. And if you do not know about Blender, then check out my previous episodes, because I have explained everything regarding Blender in those ones. But I'm not explaining how to, or I'm not explaining the basics of Blender, you know. So you need to get familiar with Blender yourself, and do not expect me to explain you anything of the basics, as I've already said. Okay. Now let me import the head inside of Blender, and then let me switch. Okay, let me switch. Come on. And there we go. Okay. So I have just imported the head, and as you can see, it is right there. So set origin geometry to origin. No, we did not select it. There we go. I'm gonna enable this screencast views thing. So that's a plugin which makes you see my mouse inputs, my key inputs whatsoever. So all of my inputs down here in this left bottom corner. So you can check them out and you can easily follow. That's a pretty cool thing, especially for those ones who are not familiar with Blender, you know. So pretty cool for them. And yeah, so I'm gonna start now with building those bandages. And I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna speed up this clip at that point. And I'll be back once it has been finished. Alright, there we go. So we have now created those bandages. As you can see, I have applied the... Yeah, so I have shaded everything smooth and I have applied the edge split modifier, as you can see, and now this thing looks like this. And now you move on by hitting File, Export, OBJ, and now select a path. So, alright, there we go. Now, back in Studio, let me... Yeah, so we need to insert a mesh part, but let me just duplicate this here. Accessory right here. Let me call them bandages. And now, delete this original size thing. Okay, now let me import everything. Okay. And... where is it? Okay, so check this double sides thing. Okay, so what is wrong with this mesh? Alright, there we go. Okay, Now, let me remove this original size thing once again, because that keeps resizing the mesh. And yeah, now, so as you can see, we need to move this thing a little bit more up, and we do that by using those properties right here, because that's the key to success when working with those accessories, of course. Okay, so that's too much. Yo, so that's actually pretty good. Let's keep it like this, because it actually looks pretty cool. Yeah. All right. Perfect. So that's our Eren Yeager tower. Okay, and we now need to create the face of the Titan and the hair of the Titan. So Eren's Titan transformation, you know. And since we have exported the head already into Blender, we can just use the same head to create everything else on. So let's switch back to Blender. And wait, let me just undo everything. Undo, undo, undo. No, redo. Wait, shift control. There we go. Okay, never mind. So I have just undone everything, as you can see. And now we have our hat right here, okay? And I'm going to start with creating the hair first of all for Eren's Titan form, or Titan transformation. I always keep saying form, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. So for Eren Yeager's Titan transformation, okay? So I'm gonna create the hair for that, and then I'm gonna move on with creating the face, so his teeth, his mouth, his nose, whatsoever. Alright, so I'm gonna mute myself again, and I'm gonna be back once it has been finished. Alright, so as you can see, we have now finished the hair for the Titan. And of course, we could do a lot more better. So that's of course not a perfect hair, but it is a hair, you know, and it is usable. It is not perfect, it is not that good, but it is usable at least. And let's stick with this one. Alright, so how do you move on now? So you have your different curves right here, so I have 3 in total. And how do we continue now? So I think that we cannot join them together. Okay, it did work. Okay, so they have been joined together by selecting all of them and then hitting Control J, as the display right there should have told you. And now you can go to Object, Convert to, and then Convert to Mesh from Curve. And there we go. So now this is a mesh, and we can get rid of these 3 circles. And of course, I have not mentioned that, but if you want to know how to create hair in Blender, then I have made a tutorial about it. Do not forget to check it out if you are not familiar with hair creation for Roblox and Blender. And I'm explaining you what the circle does, what the curves do, and just teaching you about this method of hair creation. There are of course some other methods you can use, but this one is pretty decent, I would say. And yeah, so let's just move on. Alright, so let's shade this thing smooth. Let's go to no. Do not do any of those. So as you can see, we currently have 120 triangles. 120,000 triangles, I'm sorry. So down here where it says tris, so these are your total amount of triangles, and we need to ensure that all of these, or that this amount right here, is not greater than 10,000. Okay, so we need to make this display right here say 9,000 or whatsoever. So everything not greater than 10,000. So how do we do that? So let's select this curve right here, or our hair, and let's go to the modifiers tab, and then let's go to decimate. And this one basically just reduces the amount of triangles, but also, yeah, makes the quality a bit more worse. You will see what I do mean with that, or what I wanted to express with that. So as you can see, the less your ratio right here is, so the less this thing is, the poorer your quality will get, as you can see. And oh, we're currently at 7,900. Okay, so that's actually a little bit depressing right here. Come on. Oh, wow, okay. So the quality looks pretty poor. Is there any way we can save it? Come on. Okay, so let's stick with 0.08. As you can see, the quality is pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad. Right here, let me scale this a little bit more, just to save some things. Okay, so we are currently greater than 10,000, but do not worry. Let's hit apply, and let's delete the head, because if you delete the head, then you will probably lose around 800 triangles or so. Okay, now let's shade this thing smooth. Let's apply the edge split modifier, and as you can see, we could gain a little bit of quality by doing so, but it of course will not compensate the whole loss of the quality, but it somehow does increase the property, the quality, I would say. All right, so let's export this thing. So let's go to File, Export OBJ, and now let's export this one. So Titan here. There we go. All right. So the next thing we want to work on is the face of the Titan. So I have just undone everything till this point, until our head has reappeared, and now let's move on with the creation of the Titan face. I'm gonna mute myself at this point again, and I'm gonna speed up the clip if it does not take that long for the face to be created. And yeah, so see you again. Alright guys, so the next step, we are going to export everything single by single. As you guys probably know how this is going to work out. Alright, so let's begin with the head. Okay, so let's delete everything. except for the head. And then go to File, Export OBJ, and then export your head. Okay, now undo everything, and now delete everything else except for, well, let's say for this one. So for the mouth, export OBJ, and yeah, so that's how this is going to work out. Undo again. Now the nose. Now those eyes right here. Now those kind of things. Alright, so I'm gonna export this one. Now, I'm just gonna end the video at this point, because I'm gonna work on the rest. So, regarding the import and the setting up or preparing the tower and setting up everything. So all of these topics are being dealt with in the next episode of this tower defense series right here, because it is already pretty late. It is 1 AM currently. And yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and see you in the next video, guys.